Crosswind carnage, Evenepoel forcing splits, and photo finish controversy. Already, this was UAE Tour Stage 1, Sprinters World Champs. We've got Mark Cavendish here with Case Bowl for Astana, Adam Yates, but no Pogacar for UAE Team Emirates, and Remco Evenepoel, the World Champ. Now, Stage 1, this one may be flat, but the crosswinds always kick off on this Almeida stage. They did in 21, they did in the women's race. And if you want to watch pro cycling live and uninterrupted, LR viewers from selected territories can get 15% off an annual GCN Plus subscription by heading to the link down below. It's the best way to watch pro racing, including coverage of this UAE tour. But you saw, before they even enter the neutral zone, everyone's ready to go. Plapp sprinting off the line. This is as they exit neutral, they are sprinting. Plapp is sprinting, Bahrain is sprinting, Ineos are behind him, and Quickstep are on the other side. There's already guys being split through neutral being ended, and Bahrain just put the foot down straight away. This was crazy. This happened in 2021, the women's race. A crash happens. It always tells us people are in the gutter. Ewan split behind, and this is like, was it Sicario 2? You know when Benicio del Toro is trying to like get back to the US? That's this scene, but when you're trying to get from whatever echelon number 10 this is, the poor Bardiani guy's great kit, by the way, and Koos goes down. He was seen to be okay, thankfully. You try and make it back, it's tough. You can't do it on your own. Yates is in Group 2, not a great start for him. Evenepoel is in Group 1, but no teammates. Van Poppel there with Bennett, tiling the big unit for Ineos there. Bilbao ever present there with 4 Bahrain teammates, including Bauhaus. Coy there, no Merlier. Plapp's there for GC, so Glog's there as well. So 4 GC riders and a few sprinters. Group 3 is a mile behind, but Group 2, Quickstep were pulling it back with Seri, Vavaka, Van Leeberger and Merlier himself to get back to Evenepoel, even though they kind of had a good situation up front with Yates behind, Vine behind, and Groenewegen and Ewan in this group, and Demar as well. But they brought it back. They paced quite a bit, 16 seconds. They can see them in the distance. The group at like 4 minutes were gone. Cav was in that group as well. So it wasn't like Merlier was coming back with nobody. And he's talking to Case Bold. The first time they've raced together, he's going to be pivotal for him. And then it chilled out a little bit. Like, no one really wanted to work with Quickstep. It was up to them to pace. Remco trying to split it or following a teammate, but the wind wasn't right at this point. And so they shut it down, had a feed. This is Group 2 now, which was like Group 4 with Koos and Vine and Gaviria. They were like 4 minutes back, now 3 minutes back. That would go to under a minute. Whilst Vavaka was pacing with, I think, Fran Mihalovic from Bahrain, the young Neo-Pro, and UAE were there, and with 31Ks to go, it starts to kick off. You see Merlier's about to get out of the saddle. He warns Remco about 7 times. The Bahrain rider, I don't know if it's Nicky Asant, he's on the radio. I'm just going to make up that he told them that it was about to kick off. It would make sense if he did say that. And they cut away unhelpfully to the Bardiani group. Next time they cut back, what the hell? Cavendish is on the front with Drisner's in front of Caleb Ewan. What just happened? They didn't even go around a big turn. There wasn't even a noticeable change of direction, but you can see the sand blowing across from the left-hand side. We've got 2 Jumbo and an EF in no man's land between them, and then Group 2 behind. Demar's missed it. Bennett's missed it. He seemed to be cooked. Plowright's missed it. Groenewegen's missed it. Welsford, Ineos, apart from Plapp. And here's what happened. You see here, Jumbo are pretty deep. They finished their rotation. They're halfway or worse down, and Glog is in worse position than that. Bahrain are sprinting on the right-hand side. This is the earliest frame I could find. And Remco's deep. Van Leeberger, I think it might have been, pushing it with Merlier on his wheel. UAE had just finished. So they waited for UAE to finish their rotation, and then Quickstep just smashed it. And UAE kind of slid back in the way of Plapp. Plapp had to check it a little bit, and he does an incredible bridge because Drisner saves Ewan. Drisner's incredible work for Ewan, bringing him into that group. Cavendish was on the wheel of Case Bowl, but Plapp, he brings single-handedly Glog along, but no one else from Jumbo can make it. UAE can't make it either, but huge from Plapp, getting himself, saving his GC in that one pull. And you see how close the Jumbo guys are, but close ain't good enough. They don't make it into that Group 1, and now Bahrain with still numbers, 4 guys. Bilbao for GC, Bauhaus for the sprint, Govakar to pull, and Nicky Asant to lead out. They're pushing it. Quickstep now with numbers, they're happy with Merlier, Remco's Sprinter, and GC, and Bert van Leeuwenberg to do the lead out. And good on Case Ball. And Cav, I mean, Cav's in good shape. This group, they lose a minute ASAP. Bennett doesn't tell Van Poppel to pull. UA were already cooked from chasing. But yeah, you don't just accidentally make your way into Group 1 in these races, especially as this is the second time it's kicked off. They kicked it off out of neutral about 2.5 hours before. They take a look at the finish line one time. It's a right-hand bend with 250, 300 meters to go. Now, Plapp, Remco, and Bilbao, they're going to push it to the line because they're trying to take as much GC time as possible on the group behind, which has Adam Yates, who, inferring from Pogacar not being here, UA would think have got Yates in good shape for one of their most important races of the year. But it's not an easy win for Merlier by any stretch of the imagination. Coy's been sitting on with Cav at the back. They've been saving energy. Merlier was still pulling at 3.2 Ks to go, but there's still Bauhaus, Cavendish, Coy, Ewan in this group. Eventually, the wheel gets let go to Plapp. He realizes Remco doesn't, I don't think. He doesn't know that. He just thinks he's doing a lead out, but this forces Drisnes to jump with 2Ks to go. But apart from that, it was pretty much just straightforward to the finish. All of a sudden, Merlier's gone to the back. Now, he's been pulling through. No way he's cooked. He goes to the back of this group. And you're thinking, that's suspicious? And what's their plan? Then Remco keeps the pace high so no one can attack, and it kind of keeps everyone in position. Van Leeuwenberg is really efficient. He's not even having to pedal at this point. Coy moves in front of Ewan onto Art's wheel. Bauhaus has gone onto Cavendish wheel. And so Merlier is really the only guy apart from Cav on his lead-out man's wheel. And there's this right-hand bend coming up. Bol goes on the inside. Drisnes is now on the front way too early. If he pulls off, does that make Bol jump early or Arndt jump early? And you see Van Leeuwenberg moving up positions, moving Bilbao and Plapp out of the way. And he jumps, he's having to jump even wider, and that checks his momentum when Drisnes pulls off into him. But he crucially gets to this right-hand bend first with Merlier in his wheel. Ewan slides onto Merlier's wheel. Coy, Cav, Bol, they kind of got pinched on the inside. When Merlier opens up 150 to go, I thought this is done. But Ewan's in good shape too, coming out of the wheel side by side. Photo finish, except Ewan doesn't think so. Hand up immediately. I love the confidence, and if there is a photo, maybe they'll give it to you. Who knows? That looks tight. Merlier's certainly not celebrating. Ewan still thinks he has it. I can't tell who's won there. Now, if you can in the comments, let me know, like the name of your optometrist, but I can't tell who's won there. Now, maybe there's a different photo. Obviously, this doesn't count. This is like not even on the angle of the finish line. It's not a finish line photo. Quickstep are wondering who's won. Remco's like, come on, I got to get back to the hotel and get him out. Like, who's actually won so we can move on with our lives. Ewan now is a little bit less sure. 15 minutes of elapsed, by the way. And now the two go in. Maybe this is how they decided. They're looking at it on the screen, and I still don't know who's won. Now, if there's a dead heat, which I think this was, then there needs to be, according to the UCI rules, we think, a rerun where they do the last kilometre head-to-head from a standing start, which I think they should have done because that would have made for great entertainment. Unfortunately, maybe because Merlier looked at the screen and said, yeah, I reckon I've got it, they gave it to Tim Merlier. Wins the sprint, great day for Quickstep, getting both the stage and Remco putting Adam Yates on a minute on GC, not a bad start for them. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Make sure if you want to watch this racing live, GCN Plus is the place. 15% off an annual pass in selected territories through the link down below. And I'll have the TTT recap for you tomorrow. Ciao.